We should be live now, Self Love. Hey, Self Love. Say EurekaAfrica.com.
EurekaAfrica.com.
Bruh.
Didn't you ask me to say EurekaAfrica.com?
Say EurekaAfrica.com, Self Love. It's a Black-owned and operated emporium, chock full of handcrafted apparels and accessories from the cradle of human civilization. They reward their artists handsomely and give back to Afro-centric themed charities.
That's love, Sel.
Yes, sir. They're resurrecting that ghost.
After the show, go to sayeurekaafrica.com, and after you break bread, tell them
Self Love sent you. You good. You good. Self Love Show will start shortly. I just have to plug in the filler. Self Love Show will be starting shortly. Please like, share, subscribe. Gentrification and Juice.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Self Love. Now, today is December 23, 2020, hump day. And we can all be any place in this vast, magnanimous universe. Yet, well, somehow we all Scooter chose
No,
to be here together. Yes, sir.
your vocals have gone down.
All right. Well, it's spooky. Here today.
Yeah,
What up, Self Love? You go ahead and do your thing.
no doubt. Welcome to the Self Love Show. Everybody, I just want y'all to know we love you and we love your support. Love the support last night. It was amazing. Uh, we've had some things happen, out of our control. And we're here tonight. We're going to push through and we're going to make sure that everybody understands that we're standing strong and moving forward. And like I said, we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Let's get rid of, some of this little business we got to take care of so y'all can see the platform and what we stand for and how we moving and rotating.
Yeah, and why these spooks keep messing with us.
Yes, sir. Ooh. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. Flesh. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to Close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Hey, so welcome back, you guys. So we got through all of the platform items. Hope you are meditating on it and taking that message forward. Man, we had a 4-hour and I think 15-minute live that took place. 99 Problems is COVID-1. And we had Dr. Robert Gay III, Dr. Kiera Honore, Attorney Cannon Lambert, Cannonball, on the panel. The panel also included Dr. Jared Conrad, Cortez Scott, and Pastor Bryant Stewart, where we covered the A to Z questions that our community had about the virus itself, the vaccination, things of that nature. Great show.
Amazing.
Self Love.
Man, amazing show. The amount of information that was, espoused was very important for our community.
Facts. And I watched this show. It was a 4-hour live. I think I went to sleep at 4:30 our time in LA. So I watched it like twice. Lived it once. So much just information there. Chock full of information for our nation, Self Love Nation, and then also by extension, the culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Spinkster McDoodoo, the spooks. So apparently there's been a hack at TATN and someone's in there deleting videos, live streams. We lost the stream from last night. We lost the Bernard Kramer stream. We lost the McNair Jr. stream, deleted, gone. We lost the live stream with my mom, laying the history of Chicago. Just breaks my heart. What other Stacy Minor stream, about the food deserts. Streams where Self Love and I didn't have a guest. We can, we can get around those, but the ones where the guests took their time.
Saint show, my birthday show.
I have to believe it was some house series in there.
Yeah, well, definitely. 2 of them, probably.
Those I hadn't even considered. So, man. So, we like to, Self Love and I, we tend to be prepared for the worst and expect the best. So, we're hoping that there are some spooks with our heart at YouTube. It's our understanding that it's in their cloud for at least 14 days, deleted content. So we're hoping that maybe someone has a contact at YouTube or, can work some magic somewhere. We're reaching out to them, but, it's limited ways we can contact them. Haven't gotten a response. So nothing else. You guys keep your fingers crossed for us. If you don't believe in that, do whatever it is that you believe in. Go ahead, Self Love.
We'd ask that you, reach out to YouTube, on our behalf as well. Because if it comes from many different angles, then, they I have the feeling they're gonna do what's right. But we'll see.
Now, because of this, Self Love and I, we've it's a shame we got to talk about this and not about all the jewels that was dropped yesterday, like we normally do. But we're putting some things in place. So right now, like this live is being recorded, as a backup, and so we have a couple of things that we're doing. So yeah,
You know how we make lemonade out of lemons, and it's kind of let us know that we in fact are moving in the right direction and correctly. Because if somebody's hating to hack and do what they did, then we're moving in the right direction. And it's also a valuable lesson that we have to have, stuff in place, so it doesn't matter what they do.
That's well said, my good brother. And that's why the way you vibrate, bro. That's why I've been able to be with you all these years, man. Because if there's been one person that can keep the old Terminator level-headed, it tends to be Self Love. I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. And maybe a little sage never hurts, as well. But I mean, that's a standard. So that, you know what I mean? That's like H2O for some people. So, yeah, man. So, hey, man. Yeah, it's just hurtful because, everything we do is for our nation. It's not for us. That's where the pain in me is stemming from right now. It's just that everything that, Self Love and I do, we do it for the nation. All of this information that we take the time to put out there is for our culture, and then now it's gone. And then I have reason to believe that if we were talking about WAP, or this person shot this person, and now this person should go shoot this person, I have reason to believe none of this would have ever happened. But I'm a conspiracy theorist. So enough of that. We had a great show, and so we're going to keep it going like Self Love and I say. What the Self Love Show? What?
Let's go on.
That's right. So small up, turn your head, everybody, the Christians, Muslims, small up to all the, the bad spooks, and big ups to the spooks who can get in there and turn that hack around and get that data and get those videos back up for us.
Absolutely.
I mean, right. So that's about it. It's going to be last year, Self Love and I the last you hear I speak on it, until, I have some more information from YouTube. But Self did have a good suggestion. If you guys can reach out maybe from your YouTube accounts and say, hey, I saw a great live, and they're telling me that they got hacked, and oh my God, the information was powerful, and I wasn't going to take the vaccination, and now I'm going to take it. That's stuff they want to hear. I mean, if that's true, we don't want you to lie to them. So
no.
But you can say it made you consider it when at first you weren't even, considering it, if that's true, of course. So, So today, Self Love, we've got gentrification. So if you can, we got a video that is going to explain the definition of it, and then Self Love and I will come back and comment on it. Oh, yeah, let it run. Hey, Self, take that back. Hey, you guys, that was... we're going to run that again. I don't know if you guys know, but Saturn aligned with Jupiter 2 days ago. Closest they've been in 800 years. I saw it too. Bare eyes.
Man, it was very cloudy here.
Man, it was so clear here, bro, and the sky was lit. It's like all the other stars was looking at it, bro.
Look at that.
You see that?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
Magnanimous, but let it roll into the next one. This is the video we were trying to play, people.
With multiple
Is it?
killings of African Americans by white police officers in the
Wait.
spotlight, the
Wait,
Secretary of the
pause this.
Army tells Newsy the military is looking.
All right. So where we're at now, everybody, unshare your screen. So
Yeah, we go show what we need to show, right?
yeah, well, we'll get to that. So let's lead into the one that you have in front of you now. Now this one is, one of our tenets is we're here to stamp out tyranny. Okay, and so I guess we've evolved as a society to the point where our government, our military, now has to train its soldiers on how to interact with 12. Does that seem how to safely interact with 12?
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense to me in that not that I agree or anything, but that
Right.
it kind of makes sense that
Right.
these people are trained for war. They're trained to deal with combat. You know what I mean? They're not trained to de-escalate. You know what I mean? So they probably, and the police training is, they don't de-escalate either. So, some do, the good ones do, but all of them, you know what I mean? So it makes kind of sense that they need these people that are trained to kill and not, so they don't get killed when they come home by the police.
Yeah, and I hear you. I understand that their logic. It's just, as a citizen, why was this not necessary 50 years ago?
Policing has become something way different than it was.
And I think a lot of those guys policing are coming out of military.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm one of the rare ones that'll say if someone's had active duty, you have to choose if you want to go out and be a warrior or a soldier, or if you want to be a policeman. I don't think you should be able to do them both.
I hear you. And, I feel similarly.
Their goal is the same, but, who they're trained to deal with is totally different. So when you're a soldier, you're trained to deal with enemy combatants.
Yes.
And that's just brainwashed into them,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
Programmed.
Yes. Rammed, all while they're in their basic training and what have you, all while they're in the military, what have you. And then they come back into the civilian society, and then they get some other type of training where, okay, yeah, you're not dealing with that anymore, and your PTSD, just take this pill and we'll take you to the bar, and right. Yeah. And then give them a gun, and and then some of them just, how can they really distinguish? I don't know. I've never done either. So
yeah, I feel you though, because somebody that's been in war, has been in war.
Yeah.
Is I can see how they probably not fit to be a police person.
Yeah, maybe SWAT.
Yeah, they're specialized,
right,
when they're dealing with war type conditions.
Right. And then they have special training and special, what do you call leadership that they respect at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, That's what I would say, but that's just my soapbox. So Self, if you can run that video, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Then we'll get into our gentrification study.
With multiple killings of African Americans by white police officers in the spotlight, the Secretary of the Army tells Newsy the military is looking into what can be done to keep black soldiers safe when they come into contact with local police.
So are you considering making some sort of unified type training
Only black ones, so.
go over those things, especially with the climate that we're dealing with right now?
Yes, absolutely.
What the training will entail has yet to be determined, but black veterans I spoke to say the problem is urgent.
Everyone wants to fight for the flag, and they claim the flag stands for freedom, liberty, and justice for all. But as a black person in America, we don't have none of the three. I don't have freedom, I don't have liberty, and I damn sure ain't getting justice.
Sergeant Carlos Martin was coming home from a uniform inspection on Fort Jackson in 2005 when he says he was attacked by a South Carolina police officer.
I'm finna die. And my wife is finna die in front of me, and I can't do a damn thing about it to protect her. I felt less of a man. I felt like, how the can I go out here and I put my life on the line, blood, sweat, and tears for this country? And for them to do me like this, what am I fighting for?
Court documents and police reports reveal Martin, who had just returned from Germany, was arrested by this man, Deputy Ben Fields. He may look familiar. He's the same officer seen in this viral video body slamming a teenage girl in a classroom 10 years later.
Approximately 20 minutes ago, school resource officer Ben Fields was terminated from the Richland County Sheriff's Department.
Martin, who has since made a short film documenting his experience, says Fields was responding to a noise complaint.
Hey you, come here.
After asking for his ID, Martin says Fields threw him to the ground, beat him, and emptied an entire can of pepper spray on him, while another officer threw his wife against the car after she was spotted taking photos with her cell phone. The attack was allegedly provoked by Martin calling Deputy Fields dude.
He's like, you won't be addressing me as dude. I'm a Richland County officer of the law. I said, well, sir, you addressing me by hey, you. He said, well, that's because I don't know your name. Well, hell, I don't know your name either. And I move my hands up and let you know the officer tackles me. He slams me down to the ground. He starts beating on me. He handcuffs one of my arms behind my back.
According to police reports, Fields admitted to using racial slurs when arresting the uniformed Army sergeant.
After they arrested us, I went down to the precinct to be fingerprinted, to take my mug shots. I'm sitting here taking a mug shot in a military uniform.
The U.S. Army should be,
according to this
his
memo
CO
from
should
the
be doing
Richland
his
County Sheriff's Department Internal Affairs, there was not enough evidence to prove or disprove excessive force was used during the altercation. Martin and his wife were both charged with resisting arrest, but those charges were later dropped. The Army veteran says his wife then took the officers to court for excessive use of force. The civil lawsuit made its way to the 4th District Court of Appeals, but the judge ruled in favor of the officers due to qualified immunity.
I would like for him to be charged the same way as if anyone else was charged. If I go out and I be the person, or if I treat a person that way, he should be convicted just like a civilian should be convicted.
The military should be handling
But they have the badge has its own set of rules that protect them.
Unable to afford an attorney, Martin says he never had a say in court. And when I asked him what he feels his chain of command should have done when he told them about the incident, this is what he had to say.
It would be nice in a perfect world. I would love for my unit to stand up, protect me, and say, hey, we're going to get you the help that you need. We're going to get you the right lawyers.
This is why I'm not in the Army, people.
We're going to get you the right publicity.
This is why I don't join.
This issue of racism.
Army Secretary McCarthy told Newsy the military is currently giving service members advice on how to avoid trouble with the police, but has no plans as of now for more formal training.
I don't know specifically like a particular professional military education regimen, but they are the types of things we talk to soldiers before they go out on the weekends and give safety briefings about how to carry themselves.
If y'all was punking the police,
military leaders
you wouldn't have to have to
military
talk with the soldiers.
They all said databases or records about incidents like this are rarely kept, and if they are, They are usually destroyed after a set amount of time.
Yeah, you covering it
Therese
up.
Garnier, Newsy, Washington.
Yeah, you can stop that.
Man, the worst part I heard out of that was qualified immunity.
Absolutely.
That is tyranny. It's tyranny, and it's got to go. Really, that has to go.
Totally, man. Totally. Yeah. So
we got to build and make sure that we eliminate that, because it is harming our community far more than helping, because the police have been looked at as the enemy, because you call them to get some help and then they come and kill your loved one. If
yeah, but this guy was in uniform. He's a sergeant
Yes.
of the U.S. Army. He's there with his wife, and he's not an enemy combatant. He's not a criminal. And it's mighty funny how this, if he had committed a crime, his commanding officers and everybody would have thrown him in the brig, because you can't hold a U.S. soldier in a civilian jail. You hold him there, but then the Army's going to come get him and put him in the brig or whatever he's in, because they are U.S. property. So why are they not fighting this fight?
That's disappointing as well.
That's why that's what he said. And that's what I was saying during the video. That's why some of us don't join your military. It's exactly why.
Absolutely.
It's exactly why.
Yeah. Couldn't say it no
because
better.
If I'm him, I'm spending, but see, I'm not in the military and they would have thrown me out. See, I'm not spending any energy fighting that police department. I'm going to the legal people with the military, and I'm filing everything against the military. How dare you let these people do this?
That was ridiculous. He
in uniform,
and he slammed a child. The same.
And then use racial slurs in the report.
Yeah, admitted to it. In uniform. Meant nothing to him.
Nothing.
But I've seen them do it to cops.
Yes, in uniform.
But
that's one thing. We're talking about a U.S. soldier that these people pray to. I mean, Colin Kaepernick kneeled kneeled during the national anthem, and it was World War III. This is what I'm talking about. These people. So is the blue line flag more important than the American flag at this point? Because America, if it's something y'all know, y'all need to go ahead and inform all of us.
Real talk. We need to know.
We need to know. And if you spooks want to get videos to delete, we'll give you some videos to delete. Man, we'll give me a reason to give you a reason to delete the videos. We'll give you a reason. Try to be respectful, don't we, Self?
Yeah, that's what we deal in respect. But you're going to respect us. Facts.
Man. So, if you ain't got nothing else, Self, let's go ahead and roll that other video. It's going to define, I think it's going to define, that's going to define us for gentrification.
We are there.
All right.
I just made sure that.
Yeah, we didn't do our regular prep today, guys, because
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Perhaps you've heard the word gentrification mentioned in the news, in the industry you're working in, or maybe even in some political context. Well, gentrification is happening more and more in the world around us, so it's important to understand what people are talking about when they rattle off this word. Gentrification is the process of a low-income and sometimes crime-ridden urban area transforming into a more upscale and affluent area. Gentrification is usually initiated by affluent residents and businesses moving into an area that is accompanied by the renovation and reconstruction of buildings, parks, and other local amenities. It involves both economic and demographic change and a change in the overall makeup of the people who live in the area. As the area improves and becomes more desirable, property values, rents, and the cost of living will also become more expensive. Gentrification can result in displacing residents who may have lived in the area their entire life, but all of a sudden are unable to afford the higher cost of living, forcing them to move. Gentrification is somewhat of a controversial subject. In most cases, the areas that experience gentrification are initially low-income minority communities. And as the area improves and prices increase, it's the more educated and affluent residents that tend to benefit from the change because these residents are the ones who can actually afford to stay. It's the less educated, lower income households that are negatively impacted by gentrification. And this isn't just with renters either. Homeowners may own their property outright but see such a big increase in property taxes they can no longer afford to live in the area. Gentrification does not occur in every urban city, and it usually doesn't happen in the poorest, most dangerous neighborhoods either. Typically there needs to be some kind of cultural opportunity in order for gentrification to occur. If you like this video, be sure to check out the full article over at retipster.com, which you can find linked beneath this video. And if you want to expand your real estate knowledge and business acumen, be sure to check out this next video, and we'll see you there.
Yeah, so that's it. That's gentrification. I think that was a decent explanation.
I agree.
I like the way they explain it with, it's all matter of fact. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, happy music and, just getting the information. Gentrification. And yeah.
People that have lived there all their life might have to move away.
Yeah, I was looking at something that should have been like making me feel a certain way of empathy, but I wasn't getting that.
No, they were like,
in slavery, they picked the cotton for free.
The major key in saying terrible shit. I mean,
yeah. Hey, well, yeah.
Well. Saying terrible things and playing the major key. It's a wish wash. It mess with the mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it does.
They know what they're doing.
Hey, you guys, you can call in troll free. We're at 424-900-6945.
Troll free.
It's 424-900-6945.
Troll free.
Trolls will get holes. Standard rates and messages may apply.
Yeah.
Also, we just dropped the link. So if any one of you want to join the show tonight, we are talking about gentrification. Gentrification. Do you have any experience of gentrification? What is your old community like? Has it been gentrified? Was it being gentrified while you were there? Is it being gentrified now? If it is being gentrified, why? By whom? And where will you go? Will you stay? Gentrification. Self, I got a gentrification story. Man, I remember when we first moved to LA, I was rolling around and doing the Uber, and there was a Latino cat, old school guy. He might have been like, my parents' generation, right? Maybe a little bit younger, And where was his home? Boyle Heights, I want to say. It's on the edge of K-Town, but it was in Boyle Heights. And so I dropped him off. I'm like, man, it's magnificent, because it's on a hill. I could tell it was kind of like the hill, the neighborhood was changing. I could tell it was changing. But I'm like, oh, it's nice over here, man. He told me, he said, when I bought this house, he said he got it for like a little bit under $200,000 in the 90s. I think he said like 150 or something in the 90s. It was on a hill. He said it was gang infested. And he said drive-bys and yeah.
Wow.
Yes, when he bought it, right? And now it's been gentrified. Now it hasn't always been, he said it was the neighborhood, it was a community, right? You had that, but that's when he bought it. You remember how the 90s was? Right. So, but it was still Boyle Heights. That's what it was. And it still had the history and the culture. And he had already been there. His family had been there before him, right? But he bought the house in the area, but he, was from the neighborhood. So anyway, he said he got the house. He's been living there. And he starts to see the changes recently. And I said, man, you must be getting an offer on this house like once a month. He said at least twice a week, somebody either knocks on his door or leaves something in his mailbox.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And he said that he preferred the community the way it was.
Right.
And he said that sometimes, certain people, now they're calling the police and complaining about this and complaining about the loud Hispanic music and stuff that's been going on in the community before they got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Like it's, I'm saying the instances of it happening here in South Shore.
Well, what he said was, hold that thought, because I'm glad you said that. What he said was, bro, I don't want to lose this. He said that, okay, so he bought the house for under the 200 grand. And he said that the house was appraised, I think, he had done some work, but it was appraised like his house didn't look like the other ones, but he had a beautiful location. His house didn't look bad at all. It looked well kept,
Right.
And he said that it was appraised at like 800 grand. And he said he's getting offers 1.1 million because these people are coming from Silicon Valley. They just got the money.
Right.
And they're gentrifying that neighborhood. So a bank wants to gentrify it, to get Self Luv out of your house right there. Say if it's worth 200 grand, they want to gentrify it and they really want you out. You're still there, 300 grand, it becomes 400 grand at some point. You're like, well, man, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I could do so much good with this money they're offering me. And he said that his kids are telling him to sell. And I told him, I said, man, when you transition, they're going to sell. He said he already knows, you know what I mean? But he said a lot of his friends had retired, sold their homes in Cali and moved to places in the Midwest. And that's what I was trying to tell him. There's the flip side. You can cash out, take that 1.2 million, get you a home for 200 grand in French Lick, Indiana, and live like a king and still bank what? $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But no.
Yeah.
He's in principle. He's, you know what I mean? So it's like, yes. He's like, they not running me out of here. Yep. He said the property tax has been going up.
As long as you can afford it.
Get them.
As long as you can afford them, because they're going to go, especially out in Cali. The real estate, like, man, the valuation in LA is like,
man. And you get a neighborhood that's flipping self on a hill with a view of downtown that's flipping.
Oh my God. That's why they're coming at it every,
Yes.
Period.
Yes. Yeah.
I understand.
Man, that's like, man, you came all the way up. And he was like, and the funny thing is, he said everybody was telling him not to buy the house when he bought it, right? Yeah. Now everybody's telling him to sell the house.
Sell it. You shouldn't have bought it. Now you should sell it. You don't need that house.
But he said if he would have sold it when he started getting that, he wouldn't have been getting the offers he's getting. I'm like, either you're a shrewd businessman. He's like, no. He said it becomes a matter of self. It's like, imagine if a bunch of pink people was on your block.
Yeah.
It becomes a matter of principle. You're going to keep doing what you're doing, right? This is my home. This is where I've been.
No, I'm at.
Yeah.
So, especially where I'm at. So, yeah.
I remember y'all had pink people still in your neighborhood holding on from when they had the neighborhood before it flipped.
Yeah, and now they're coming back in.
Something.
So, it's
cyclical.
Yeah, Chris Mass in them old house. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and 3 on that block. 3 or 4 on Euclid from 73rd to 74th.
I predicted this 10 years ago, and I said we need to start buying up that property.
Yeah.
We can sit back and watch it. Not us, but those with the capital and want to keep investing after white folks have already fixed up area. Why don't you get smart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, because if what Self is saying is true, and I have no reason to doubt him, then guess what? That property value is about to go up, and the property taxes.
Yep.
I've seen it too. Go ahead, Self.
They're building a bowling alley and movie theater on 71st and Jeffrey.
I was just you're taking the word. That's how you know when gentrification's coming. You start seeing things pop up and corporate things. Streets getting fixed. That school by your what is it? A police train?
They changed it from Bryn Mawr to Boucher some years ago.
Wow.
It's got the grocery store on 71st. They finally got somebody in there, so they are setting it all up.
Yeah. Wow.
They are.
Yeah, I have. I'm trying to see if it felt like it's. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I noticed I don't want to do that. I noticed it does, the experience is a little different when we're recording.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll figure something out though. We won't have to record it here. We can,
back it up those other ways we discussed. And then we'll take a look at this and see, because it feels like it's laggy. Yeah.
I mean, it is, because it's a lag during a recording, because if it's recording, then it's, I don't know, it's science behind it. I know about recording music is going to be like, and then we sending it through, so.
Yeah, over the internet.
Yes.
All right, so if there's nothing in the chat, y'all call in or jump in. Otherwise, let's go ahead and roll the next video. What we're talking about is gentrification. Is it good?
What makes a neighborhood a neighborhood? Is it the families that live there?
You should stay downstairs, Auntie.
The kids playing in the park? And can a neighborhood stop being a neighborhood?
To me, it changed dramatically because, you see how it is now. It's all quiet. You don't really see nobody out.
So how could someone like Deshae Wilson, who has lived at his Booth Street home in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood for 37 years, feel like it's not his neighborhood?
This is all I know. This is the only place I've ever lived for ever.
It's not easy to grasp. It's one of those things that happens without noticing. You only see it when you reflect on the time gone by.
How you doing? My name is Deshae Wilson, and this is the east side area known as River West area.
We asked Deshae to show us his neighborhood, how he sees it, to be vulnerable and honest with us. It was up to him what to show us, where to go, and what to talk about. He remembers being friends with his neighbors, but now,
I don't know nobody no more.
Because of what he describes as forces beyond his control.
I would say it is a gentrification thing. You come across Holden this way, east, you don't really see too many black families no more. This block, it had, like I say, a lot of ethnic backgrounds on this block. And all the kids, they played with each other, no matter if you was black, white, blue, green, purple.
It's like he's a stranger in his own neighborhood.
But you like this neighborhood, Yeah, I was finna say, this ain't no bad neighborhood to live in.
But as he looks across the city,
I love it.
His city, with his old neighborhood in the background, he gets inspired to make things better.
I'm working on a non-profit organization. I basically want to do it for the kids where I can maybe feed the homeless and have some of the neighborhood kids come help me, you know, just to get things going.
While that's still in the works, Deshay is also part of a one-man beautification team.
Across the bridge.
He's always picking up trash from the side of the road.
Then I just started doing it. Just picking up the trash, you know?
Even if it's not the neighborhood he grew up in, it's still his neighborhood. And a good neighbor always takes care of their block. I asked Deshay one final question. If there was anything left he wanted to say.
I love my hood, man. When it all sums down, all boils down to it. That's the only thing I can say, man. I love my neighborhood, man.
On Booth Street, in the River West neighborhood, James Groh, today's TMJ.
Yeah, it's like you have an imprint because, you know, he said something interesting. He's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I used to talk to all my neighbors. Now I don't.
Right.
Well, you know, what do you love about that neighborhood?
Well, he said, I used to talk to all my neighbors. Now I don't know nobody.
Exactly. So
Right.
if you don't have neighbors and you don't know them and you're not talking to them, what do you love about the neighborhood? Like, see, these are the questions. I mean, and I'm asking about our communities. We're the same way because some of our communities are so dangerous that we don't even interact with each other.
Yeah.
Right? You say hello to somebody and they, you know,
look at you crazy.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not trying to holler at you or talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying hi.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep. They can even be combative.
Yeah, recognizing that you exist.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what?
I mean, I've heard arguments, Self Love. I mean, you would be a good candidate. You know, your community has been ravaged with, you know, ignorance and it's gone the gambit. Like you said, you've seen it. Your family literally seen it go the gambit. You know, where are you at on this spectrum?
Well, we were some of the first Black families in this neighborhood, and especially where we're at. So,
right.
Yeah. And
so your family didn't move there for the crime and
no.
You know what I'm trying to say, for the hood feel. That's what I'm saying. They didn't necessarily move over there for that.
Right. No.
Or for the cheap realty. They didn't move over there for the cheap realty. Right? No. Okay. All right. So go ahead. What were you saying? Now you saw it. You and Jazzy live there.
Yep. And we saw that it was mainly
Jewish,
people.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The neighborhood was Jewish, but mainly
Susie Orman went to the school right there in the neighborhood. Graduated. Yeah.
From Bryn Mawr before it changed to Boucher.
Yeah, but South Shore High School. She graduated from South Shore.
And Bryn Mawr.
Bryn Mawr's a grade school, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you said
right
Bryn
there on
Mawr.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
and there. I'm like, both right in this neighborhood. I mean, they, you know, throw a brick and hit one from the other.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like,
right.
That's why I restated it, because
I wonder what house she was in.
Yeah.
Because it had to be right there. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've seen it, Self, and so I don't know. So I would, I guess, ask you. Your mom would be a better candidate. Hopefully we can have her sit with the elders. What do we want? Like, what's our preference, you know? What is our community?
Well, they've got us at a state that we don't really have a community. We got hoods.
And Klansmen wear hoods.
Yeah. We don't even have neighborhoods. We just got hoods because there's no neighbors to it.
Facts.
And so there's no community. So we have to bring a community. That's much needed. We have to bring a community, and where we commune and want to work together and, you know, look at each other as brothers and sisters.
Well, Dr. Conrad mentioned something, man. Pisses me off. Anyway, but he mentions in the live that, you know, we have some very tribal individuals, and you do, and there's levels to it, right? You do, and he was talking about the gangs, and it's just, yeah, I mean, Yeah, people used to be in a clique and represent, but they were still part of the community.
Yeah.
Like these guys want to pop pills and drink lean and, you know, do all types of stuff. Don't do anything positive for the community. Treat and talk to the women any kind of way. Talk to the men. Treat people's kids. Now I'm generalizing.
Yeah.
But I'm
No doubt.
talking. Yes, but I'm talking. To this segment of us.
Right.
When it started, it was different. We moved different. We
Oh,
knew
yeah.
the
It was
community. Yes.
protecting the community started off with.
Yes. And you might have made a little money here and there, you know what I mean? Because it's going to be made, there's ways.
And then they locked up all the leaders, and then shit went to chaos because everybody went for self.
Okay, I agree. And so we know this information and we can go on the block and tell these people that, right? And they'll say they know and they'll continue to keep moving the way they move. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
just wondering, like, is this because of the pills and the lean? I mean, is that a factor? The type of drugs they're doing?
I don't know.
The opiates?
Yeah, because they all, that's what I was going to say. It all seemed to be like heroin, which, was used at earlier period of time.
Shuts off your third eye. Completely closes it.
I'll take your word for it because don't
Yeah,
deal any of that.
Well, those things used to be considered, violations. You couldn't
Yeah,
do that
right.
in public. You couldn't, let's go pop pills. Yeah, let's go do, you just couldn't, you're almost like a pariah. I'm just trying to talk to the younger, kids out here like, man, what is y'all doing?
Yeah.
I mean, these rappers are telling y'all in their songs, and I know I'm off topic and we'll get back on it, but they're telling y'all in these songs, man, that they've killed themselves. They've destroyed themselves with those pills. And so, I was saying this 15 years ago, man. I was like, bro, you can't pop those pills like that because I know senior citizens, I know elders, I know people,
Yeah.
and even a doctor will tell you, look, you don't want to start on this pill regimen right now because you're young and it can affect your organs. And once it starts eating at your organs, children, it hurts. You don't want to live anymore. It's not worth it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I said that to say, what in the community, Self, my inquiry to you, what would you like to see? Is there a certain percentage of breakdown, mixed community, or you don't care what color they are, as long as they have some sense?
I just want a community, and it doesn't really matter that much. If people are going to be here and contribute, then okay, I'm with that.
Facts. So contribute. What about interaction? Would you be okay with, you're walking down 75th Street and then it's no different than you walking through Champaign, Urbana, you walking past people in your community. But like you said, like we just said, though, it happens now with our own kind.
More than ever with our own kind.
Isn't it bizarre?
Yeah, but I understand. And I'm not agreeing with it or whatever, but I understand what it's coming from because,
Conditioning?
Yes. And by us existing in the segregated state, like some of the worst things that ever happened to us happened at the hands of our own. So, that and breeds in like standoffishness and non-trust.
Let's hit the other video, Self. Well said. Let's hit the other video, man. You guys, and the link is in the chat. If you want to hop in, come on in. We'd love to get you.
The next one I got is the break.
What time is it? 7. Well, I mean, yeah, we've been running about an hour, so yeah, go ahead and roll those break videos, because we normally do these about hour and a half, hour 45 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna.
All right, people. We got some stuff to show you for break. It's about 5 minutes. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get them in here.
The time is now, my people. We must band together.
Prodigy got them bands, man. Them bands, man. They try to make us feel less because we black. And they lock us up because they know the damage we can do when we come back and we attack. We got our hands up, but they still shoot. What's up with that? We're gonna keep doing what we doing, ain't no changing that. And I'm proud saying that I'm strong and black. But they eat off our plates. Then they lie to our face. Then they run around telling stories acting like we're a disgrace. They come and take us from our homes. What's the problem with that? Why can't we just come together? We can seal the pact. This isn't white versus black. This is right versus wrong. Why is it illegal for them to just come in and take us from our homes? Why couldn't Christopher Columbus just leave us alone? We're gonna persevere through it and come back strong. But they eat off our plates. Then they lie to our face. Then they run around telling stories acting like we the disgrace. And we don't have to have our fists raising, our guns blazing. We can just hop on a mic and let our words change it. Let me mention a few of our angels. Mike Brown, Breonna Taylor, and Jesse Cedillo. We're the strongest force on earth. They just can't see though. We're gonna flank from the back and maybe they'll see more. Do you know how it feels to be black, being deranged and attacked? I'm not just rapping a rap, I'm speaking literal facts. These cops, they beat us, mistreat us, instead of having our backs. They do it all for no reason, because being black is a threat. For all my brothers and sisters and all my sisters and brothers. We know black lives matter, but we have to stop killing each other. Let's put down the guns and help uplift one another. Let's keep it real with each other, let's be better.
As a former Los Angeles police narcotics detective, that the agency has dealt drugs throughout this country for a long time.
Block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? This is what y'all wanted me in Chicago. O block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Niggas ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Where the fuck y'all niggas at, blood?
O block right now. Where we at? Tell you something, man. This is Nino Brown, man. I'm live on O block right now. Where we at?
One way in, one way out.
O block. I'm from Miami. I just want to tell niggas, man, we gotta stop killing each other, man. Yeah, this shit ain't about nothing. All that killing shit, we gotta work together, man. Stop.
Look at him, he's shook. Watch him look at this car right
I had to come over here and
look at that car. Come over here.
Well, because he was on King Drive.
Right here. Are you serious?
Out here. Yeah, he wasn't even
Black Star Line. No, he didn't go in there. Yeah.
No, he was right at the front.
By the security.
Yes.
For grown man, on some grown man stuff. And to the PDs, stop doing that killing. Please, stop doing that killing. Yeah, man. My niece, Lil Milliac, 21. Made another Say Eureka joint. It's tight too. I just haven't, everything that took place today is just, yeah. So if y'all out there, Yeah, we're gonna have that. It's cold too, man. Yeah, it's cold.
No doubt. I like the original one. I'm like,
Yeah,
man, I like it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It's cold, so yeah, I gotta get that one up there. I'm glad. I guess I'm glad. Well, wait, I told you I'm not gonna mention it again. So yeah,
No.
bro. Like, well, go ahead, bro.
No, I was like, man, stuff happens and it's okay to mention it.
Yeah,
It builds character because we're going, we're on our way, brother.
Yeah, what they say, man. What doesn't kill you make you stronger, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And truth to that. My life testament.
Man, facts, man. So yeah, bro. So like the gentrification argument, the pros and the cons. Those questions I just asked you when I asked myself. Does it matter if the community, looks like me? Ultimately, it does not. My preference would be yes. My preference would be to be around foundational Black, melanated people with knowledge of self, love of self, splattering a smidging, just a smidgen, like a mustard seed worth of, just like the way the pink people live. You know how they live, and it's 97% pink. And then those other 3% that are in the community, they better be everything that you described. So, right? They better be everything that you described. They don't come over there running numbers, selling their drugs, right? I'm telling you, pink people be on call. See, Black people, I'm going to take these visions off because they don't listen. Y'all need to wake up. When you move to those pink neighborhoods, they come knock on your door, don't they, sell? They bring cake and knock on your door. That's when you move there. And they just want, yes. Because Tori remembers he was a little kid in the subconscious and they were doing that when he moved in that neighborhood, bringing you all types of stuff. And you don't know if they spat in the food. I'm not going to go there because I want to believe higher than that. But my point is, yes, just what Self Love said. They're looking around. They're asking you questions. Well, they're volunteering things about themselves. Yeah, my husband does this. And then they're looking at you because then you have to say what you do. In other words, they're trying to find out, how you're going to produce for that community. And for doggone sure, you're not going to be over there doing what? Crapping on it. You're not going to be crapping on it. Right. So even when we be moving to those neighborhoods, most of us have the sense. They go out there, right? And they don't be crapping on it. Don't they? Hey, man, be quiet, man. The neighbors can call the police. Yeah, the police be quiet. I mean, there's a few rappers who, get away with it. You know what I mean? But you know my point. A few athletes, but they had problems, don't they?
They just didn't mind paying the fines, I guess.
Yeah, and getting arrested and having their name sullied in the papers and stuff over nonsense by the local cops.
Yeah. Well, they say no publicity is bad publicity. I don't exactly agree with that, but
yeah,
they have proven.
So Black folks, here's what I'm saying. I'd like to have a community where, again, I'd go for 90%. Foundationally Black Americans, 90%. Okay, of that 90% self, right? 10% can be flat out losers. People we can work, but we can absorb that. Flat out losers. You can bring them from, quote unquote, because they're not going to be losers in our community. We're not gonna allow that. So you can give us your tired, that's how America used to stand, allegedly, So we can take 10% of that. We can do that as long as they're foundationally Black. Don't send us losers don't stop it. Seriously. Stop. We got problems of our own that we're working on. Stop. We can't rebuild people of color from all over the world. We can't. Sorry. We can't. We'd like to, and we shall. Just not now. Put them in your communities. You can absorb that. You can overload your schools, but you won't. But I digress. So now, Now, that 90% base, we want to have a certain amount of professionals. I don't want too many professionals. We were talking about scientists and things like that. I'll take 30% scientists. If we're going to have, 10% losers, I want 10%, ministers, cloth. No more. No more. No more. No more. Whatever percentage of the quote unquote losers we're going to have, we're going to keep those ministers busy. They're going to be doing more than chasing around other people's wives around at church and, things of this nature and buying cars and, big ups to the, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk today. Spooks are deleting stuff. Yeah. I'm just saying my community, this is what my vision would be. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, you get in trouble. You send those what? You go over there and you talk to the ministers and y'all go, they're going to show you how to be a criminal where you're not, you know what I mean? You want to be a pimp, open up a church. You know what I mean? And you can call your prostitutes and your John's members. I mean, these words I'm saying are flesh, and they are.
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And if you don't think the mafia is doing it, like Cosa Nostra, that, allegedly, that nobody's talking about, everyone likes to say, oh, yeah, look at they do. Yeah, they're doing it because they've had these conversations.
Man.
They've had these hard, tough conversations. They've come with the reality that certain things are going to happen. People are going to drink. People are going to stick needles in their arm. People are going to snort stuff in their nose. People are going to chase women, right?
Yeah, that's, facts.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be criminalized.
No.
No. We don't have to be calling 12 on one another all the time.
No.
Right?
Not at all.
However, the silverbacks are going to be talking to you people that we just described. You're not going to be giving people reason to call 12.
Why would you?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Make it hot for yourself.
Right. So if there's designated places for you to stick that needle up your arm, we expect you to what? Be in those designated places or in your house. Right. I mean, we can control this, silverbacks. We can, and people would do it. Halftime, you just have to tell them. But I don't want to get off into that. So now you got your scientists, right? You got your clergy. We need 30%. Your builders, your masons, your craftsmen, 30, 35, 40%. You know what I mean? The builders. Yes. Now, yes. Now we're approaching at 90% of the melanated foundationally black. The remaining 10% can be any breakdown of any other race, creed, color, sexual orientation, whatever you want. It just can't be any more of the losers. Right.
Gotcha.
Right. And you create a culture and a standard. If people see better, they be better. If they knew better, they do better. That's true, Self. It's true.
If you got everybody vibrating a certain way in the neighborhood, and that's gonna be the vibration of the neighborhood.
I've seen it in families.
Yeah.
I've seen it. You're shipped to Beckham's.
Yeah.
JB goes off, does things, and you heard what his brother said in that tribute they did to him.
Yeah.
He was able to move the way he moved. He used them as right. He thanked them for having somebody to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you caught that because you pay attention.
Yeah.
And we're going to have him on the show soon too. So yeah, he's agreed to come on the show, and that's going to be great.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming up fast, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check the calendar. But Self, what's the title of the next video? I don't want to go putting my foot in my mouth again. Check the calendar while you're doing it.
I think it's January 6th, I believe, because that's the day after.
It is. It is.
It's a depopulating and gentrifying Chicago is the name of it.
All right, depopulating. Oh, okay. And we got Mike Mack on the 30th.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Looking forward.
I need a week after knowledge.
Yes. Yes, that's right. He's going to be the week after knowledge. Yes,
bringing that dentistry,
man, and that ownership.
Yes,
ownership over slave ship.
Yes.
Man, good. All of them, man. I can't wait. Man. This makes me think. Yeah, don't look back. You turn into pillar of saltiness. All right, so run that video. Run that video, and you're ready, Nuke. Wow.
This is Mark Sims live, or sort of live, from the south side of Chicago. This is just a few questions. I have Fred Klonsky on the line. Did I say your name right?
Close enough.
How do you say it?
It's Klonsky.
Klonsky.
Yeah.
I never met a Klonsky.
It doesn't matter. I mean, how can you mispronounce Klonsky?
What I mean is that you always see names Smith and Jones.
If
Smith,
you met them,
yeah,
they're probably related to me.
I mean, it's got to be CLONSKY.
They're relatives of mine.
And I'm from Chicago, so that name is like, well, I never heard that. So
well,
you're not originally from
when
Chicago.
When I came to Chicago in '73 from Los Angeles, it's a Russian name, Russian Jewish name, so it ends in a Y.
I was going to say Russian Polish.
It ended in an I and assumed I was Polish. So that's just the way things are in this
because
town.
we have so many.
Well, that's
Poles
what
in
I
Chicago.
thought when I first heard it. Oh, it's a Polish guy. Wow, you still got some Polish people in Chicago, right?
Still,
you know what I'm saying? Because we were like the capital.
Is he from Chicago?
More
I don't really think he is.
Than anywhere in, I think, outside of Warsaw.
Yeah, I think we slipped. I think it's New York now or something.
Well, they're out in the suburbs. A lot of white folks left Chicago for the suburbs, and I think some of them might have been Polish.
So Chicago, of course,
they're lost. I mean, I love the city. So
man,
Chicago's a much different town than you got here, Fred Klonsky.
It has
1970.
changed. That's right.
And we can't go.
A lot of those good union jobs we used to have.
That's what my mom was talking about.
The people who worked those jobs have left with them. So that's the bad. That's the thing I missed. We lost something like but 250,000 African Americans, and Terrell Washington was mayor. So
man,
that's a loss to the city.
Oh well, I live out here, so I see it every day.
Yeah,
but we're gonna spin around back to that in the conversation there. But I thought you were a CPS school teacher. You said you taught school in Park Ridge.
I taught in Park Ridge for 30 years. I was a union president up there, and now I spend my time writing a blog, FredKlonsky.com. If anybody ever wants to read it, I write about politics and schools and political struggle. And my brother and I do a radio show and a podcast over at WLPN, Lumpin Radio, and
they won't give us long.
Bridgeport, believe it
build
or not.
those buildings,
and we do that show every live every.
They'll give it to you,
Friday
but you got to have so much skin in the game.
FM.
Yeah,
and you can hear it by going
fast forward past this a little bit.
Really?
Trying to pontificate about it.
Oh, something happened
with the stream.
No, I don't know if it's a stream.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it. I mean, when you get it back, just try to forward past him talking about himself. I mean, the guys ask him about it, so. I like the guy. Yeah.
How far did you think we were talking? Let me get it back on the screen so you can see where we're at.
Yeah, just put it somewhere and then press play, and we'll see what happens.
And solely by the Cook County by the 11th Ward of the Democratic Party, but when we invite black folks on our radio show, we get kind of a look, and then we have to explain that things have changed. And that it's a little more diverse than it used to be. In fact, it's kind of a hipster neighborhood. At least parts of it are.
But a lot of that hipster neighborhood, no matter probably where you are in the country, you listen to this little podcast.
Yeah,
it's right. Really income inequality. A lot of it's just flat out capitalism.
And in this city, those 250,000 or 300,000 African Americans, mostly working class, mostly working in the industry that used to be part of the city, they're gone. But in their place, the city is 300,000
ownership.
white, over $150,000 a year pay, have come in, and it's made the city
Keep putting
really
us in the
almost
bad areas.
unlivable for poor and working class folks. It's gotten so expensive to live here,
And then move us out.
that even the mention of
And they
affordable
make money
housing
off pink people.
causes
They're making money on top of money.
people to kind of get all excited.
Well, I live far
Like
south
we're fighting
side.
up here, and I live up in Logan Square.
Pink
now,
people
and
who
we're
are
trying to
afraid
get,
of black
5
people.
or 100 units of affordable housing built on a parking lot that nobody uses, and you should. And it's about, we've been fighting for it for 5 years to get 100 units of affordable housing in our neighborhood.
The mayor lives in Logan Square. You can get her to do it. You know what I'm saying? You can work it out for you.
I'm sorry, I missed part of that.
The mayor lives in Logan Square, so you can make that happen.
She lives there now. Yeah, she's a neighbor.
Right, so you can make that happen. But I say that because I live far south side, and my house has it's the same value it was 30 years ago when I bought it. There is affordable housing, but you have to live in the hood, and that's and also even living in the hood with the abandoned homes and the foreclosures out here. The thing about it is that it still takes for most people 2-3 incomes. You have to have a household where you're like 2 or 3 people are working.
Ignore my dog. I'm sorry.
It's good radio. We love it. No, so people love dogs. It's all good. And so
but the other side of that though, Mark, is that you drive. I mean, when I drive to the west side or the south side, there's whole parts of the city that have kind of returned to prayer.
Look at those properties.
Block after block of really empty lots.
You go try to fix that up. Them guys sitting on the front.
Torn down and nobody living on it.
Hey, what's up? What's up, sir?
That's a problem. There's land.
Yep. Silverback them.
Yeah, we'll watch it for you. Yeah, you got Silverback.
Good housing.
Hey, y'all about to go ahead and start stealing shit.
The federal government and
maybe not y'all. Listen,
money into it,
but
nobody really
security
cares
or
about,
what?
Good affordable housing for poor folks.
Hey y'all, you're sitting here already.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's what the mayor.
But if something happens,
although she can't do it alone, can she?
Guess what I'm looking for?
Fred, I live
she
out here.
needs to get money from Springfield.
I don't want poor people living next to me. Trust me. You know how this works. Not in my backyard.
And
guess what?
You know, so people going the neighborhood cut
bound to live next to some of them.
And guess what?
Living over on the Gold Coast.
Right, and I'm one of the poor people. You know what I'm saying?
People going to the neighborhood.
And I say that because there's a lot of value here in the far south side where I live, parts of the west side where African American is, where we live, but the thing about it, we don't want to even live with each other, and nobody else wants to live with us because of the crime, mainly the crime and the threat of crime. So there's opportunity.
Yeah, but crime is down. Listen, I mean, you remember.
Yeah.
You remember. You're a young man, I know, but you remember the '90s and where we had like 900 murders.
Like that.
1,000 murders in this town. 1,000.
Yeah.
And so really
1,000, and it was more in the 70s.
Yeah.
Than the
70s was year after year.
And, more in the 70s than the 90s.
And I got reason to believe they wasn't counting them all back in the 70s. So dead nigga.
But it's better than it was, and as long as we have income inequality like we have,
man,
you're going to have.
I mean, look at that. There's no reason why that building should look like that.
Of course, the biggest crimes are being committed by.
Some of these buildings are owned by people, and they're just holding it
until the gentrification. Yes.
Right.
Wall Street.
So.
Yes, all of those are owned because there's a store right there. He's renting from somebody. It stores lights on.
We sometimes get fooled into getting. Like I know you didn't want to get into all this time. We'll talk.
Yeah, and if they wanted to get a loan to fix the building up, they're gonna have problems. You know, like famous sandwich place can't get a loan.
It's probably fabulous in there.
Some other working people who maybe have.
They're sitting on, sitting on it,
making
like
a couple $100 a week.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might even be somebody living in there.
$250. When really
boarded up like
that's if they're pink.
Yeah,
but if it's owned by a black company, they're going through what I'm explaining.
I
agree
right.
with that. I am guilty of that. But let me close out this podcast.
Like that property in my grandmother's property on Prairie.
Yeah, remember that.
The underclass.
Hey man, we gentrifying this. This ain't for y'all.
To vote and participate. I know
they let us know too. They wouldn't give us.
We moving y'all out of here.
Yeah, they wouldn't give us the.
Y'all was where? Remember, they was all happy. You for where? You gonna fix up? Wait, what? Walked away. Took the file. Came back. You're who?
Oh yeah, we can't. You're not getting the.
Yeah. Come back, Nick. Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
talk. That's what happened.
Yeah. We got machined.
That,
We could have put our machine on them though.
whatever the silver bullet is.
Yeah, that was. I think it was more than political.
you
It
have
was
to,
like, you know, you could go
understand
talk
the
to somebody that could grease
that,
them.
that the people
But
live under.
you had to grease them.
And,
So you know, what
take
I
a
mean,
look
we
at
didn't
the
know when we were
concrete
young.
conditions.
Or we could have talked to somebody that somebody older
Doctor, if I
flavor
was a
too.
teacher, like I
You
said,
know what I mean?
30
You know
years,
how
and I
shy
know
is, man. Somebody
that
make a
way
phone call,
that
cuss
teachers
somebody
are
out,
teachers
and
who start
problem
with their
resolved.
students
City that
are
works.
the things that they're
Real talk.
interested in.
Man,
And I
you
think
got to
if
be the
you're
right
gonna
person though.
organize people
Our
politically,
our
you gotta
level
do
of
the same thing. You
influence
gotta
could
start
reach that type of
based on
person
their
though.
conditions, the problems that they face.
I guess
Easy.
we're not even listening to this at this point. So I guess
Yeah,
we
go ahead
should
and
stop
stop it.
sharing here and get that out of there.
Let's stop sharing. I like that guy though. Yeah, he's saying
Yeah,
some knowledgeable stuff. But I
yeah.
thought they were going to go right more into gentrification. Yeah.
I think it was more about depopulating than the gentrifying, I guess, because that seemed to be what they, you know, he kept focusing on.
Yeah. Yeah. But he did say like the jobs, you know, the union jobs left.
Yeah. I mean, all of that, like, you know, steel, you know, because it was steel mills all along the lake in on Indiana side and Illinois side. That's what a
You
lot of
remember
people
Ford
don't know.
cut back on the
Rainbow
highway?
Beach, all that.
Yeah, you remember the Ford plant right over on 130th, right off
Yes.
Torrance? Man, it was
Yes.
a bunch of people who had careers there, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be you and your dad worked there for years. Yeah.
It still got people out there like that, but it's not nearly
Not
the
as
same.
many. Yeah. And you
Right.
mentioned somebody else, and there's not as many black either. Remember, it used to be those used to be black, right? Right. And you mentioned one of them other companies when we were doing the Stacey Minor interview. I don't know if it was a bread company or something you mentioned. That was over in the Pullman area, in that area. And she said the name of it too. That was a paint. Maybe it was the paint company.
Oh yeah. Sherman Williams.
Yeah.
Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. That factory. I don't know if Sherman Williams is black, but I know that a whole lot of black people work there. And man,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
Jobs.
they were making
Man.
like you know, great money, able to take care of their
Man.
family.
Working hours and getting the overtime, bro. Yeah. Yes.
They were making a solid wage where it was a solid,
Solid.
Yeah, and
Where the boy
able to overtake care of their family. You know
and
what
when
I
the
mean?
male kids weren't feeling that hunger and that desperation, where they were going to walk around with a blick and try to go sell drugs and other things like that, because they even had hope because they saw their parents having some success and accumulating, and this is our house and this is our car, and right, take care of that, and this will be yours, and right, and you can go up here and get a job at that plant. You can get it at worst. Come to worst, you can come work up here.
And
there was none of that.
They also got rid of like most of the vocational schools, which was very important. Like you used to be able to come out of high school as a LPN, as a carpenter, as an electrician.
Well, that's what Eureka said on her live. That yeah,
facts.
Right out of high school.
Yes.
Now there was no get behind. There was no student loan debt.
None of that.
Right, and think about that, Self. Now you might have had a spouse or girlfriend that was in a union too.
Yeah,
that's two incomes.
It's crazy. Right out of school, like, and that college ain't for everybody, and it was set up to have people,
getting worthless degrees and in debt.
Yeah, weigh that as opposed to going right to work at a position. I mean, or being set up. I mean, having a wherewithal in high school to figure out a vocation that you want to move in and then move through it is amazing.
As opposed to a worthless degree.
Yes.
Now, I think you shouldn't be able to get a student loan. I think the only way you should be able to get a student loan in this federal government is, for I would say tech. At this point, I would say attorney, doctor. I would say, engineering, some certain types of engineering, science.
It's hard. It's hard for me to let them have more control over these.
Well, I'm saying student loans.
Right. I'm saying towards people's aspirations. You know what I mean?
Well, if they don't, listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to stop our people from getting worthless degrees and ending up in debt. Now, if you have an aspiration to be whatever else outside of that, can you not teach yourself that and learn that on your own and be working a trade and not be getting in debt and building that on your own? I'm just, this is just a changing the lexicon type of thing.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I
I
think
mean-
they need to put those vocations back in the high school and have people, that would be ideal, as opposed to changing that. No debate, but you know what I mean.
Well, you can do both.
Yeah.
You can have the vocations in high school, and when they come out of high school, if you're going to get a student loan, you're going to get a student loan for science and math, something that's going to build our communities, something that is useful. It's not going to be, political science. It's not going to be something esoteric. It's not going to be philosophy. It's not going to be any of that, because none of that's going to help our community. You're talking to someone who majored in political science. I just didn't run up a bunch of student loans. I'm saying it would change the lexicon, because we're talking about people getting taken advantage of by colleges. Young people don't know. They're trying to find their way, most of them. And they're getting strapped with a lifetime of debt. And they're coming out of these colleges and they have no skill, no trade, and they can't get a job. Now what?
I mean, that is the case for a lot of people, but
majority. I'm not saying you can't go to college. Just know, I guess you want to strap yourself with a student loan, then do it. No government guaranteed student loans. Me as a taxpayer, I don't want to fund that. Sorry. We looked at it. It doesn't work. It's nice to say you went to college and you have a college degree, but we have to be, I'm saying, like you're saying, the trades, looking at what corporations are hiring, what we need in our communities. And those are the ones that the government is funding these student loans for. Like now would be alternative energy sources. Anybody going to school for things like that, that's going to be a benefit for our society. I mean, I know it sounds judgmental, but I mean, something's got to be done, bro. They're coming out of school with debt and no job, moving back home with their parents.
Yeah, I'm clear with that, especially in our community, because our counterparts can go to prison.
Yes.
And still have a better paying job than
Yes.
an advanced degree.
And bro, white pink people are doing this, are suffering from what I'm explaining as much and more than us. But like you said, they can still get a job and get paid more, so they suffer less. But they're going out and getting these loans for these degrees from these different schools, and there's millions of people coming out, millions of years. It's not jobs for these people, Self. I mean, I'm just being 100. It's not. And guess what? When these loans default, I worked for Department of Ed.
Yeah, you did.
Guess who pays for it when these loans default? We
Taxpayers, I guess.
Now they're talking about amnesty, bro, for these student loans. We didn't get those student loans like that. Pink people got those student loans. So they can get reparations, but we can't.
Man, we getting our silver back. Cut the shit. Cut the check.
Man, yes, cut the crap. Yes, cut the check. Absolutely, Self Love. Do we got another video in there? What's the title on it? I mean, let me look at it and see. I want to make sure. Because, yeah, I mean, it's a small crowd. All right, we got some people in the chat. You want to clear the chat, Self, and I'll go take a look at the playlist.
My shit's spinning again. Doing the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it ain't. It's something here. I think it might be the.
Yeah, I think it's your internet.
But I'm still on, so this is crazy. But all right, I'm gonna get there though. All right, I'm there.
It's going to be gentrification experiment updating a city without. That's going to be the last video, but let's do the chat.
Okay, yeah, the chat. Miliak, what up, Miliak?
Man, what up, Miliak? Man, we trying to be positive, bro. What up, Miliak? He probably ain't heard, but go ahead, bro.
Haters gonna hate. Keep your head hip, fellas. High, I guess. They can't stop what's coming. You're a man. You already know, bro.
Yeah, I guess he knows, man. Thanks for those words, Miliak. Man, those words mean a lot, big bro. Man,
Yes.
those words mean a lot because y'all know me. Y'all know, man. Thank God, wifey was Self, and I had, man. Y'all know Self. You know me. Shut, man. Spinkster McDoodle knows me. Stuff like this happens, I'll walk away from campus. Doesn't matter if I got 4 more classes left. I will shut it down. So I appreciate y'all, man.
We need that.
Yeah.
I'm the overseer. Said, one love, self love. And he also said, last day for the extra 20% off. Say Eureka Africa.
You see, I'm the OS 0002. Yeah. See, I mess with him. Yeah, it's good. It's a good point. I'm the overseer. That's a great point. Today is
excellent point. Y'all need to get it cracking. Make it happen. Break bread.
Man, break that bread so we can, break bread with you. That's how it works. Keep that money in the community. Hey, and RNA.
Oh, that's right. 7, number 7 on a more growth and development is recycle that dollar. We got to recycle it. We got to do that. So, you know what I mean? It's part of our platform, and we have to, keep letting everybody know what it is.
Facts.
This is what we're doing. And I'm now I'm getting more and more elated as I get more filled with the knowledge that we are moving like we're supposed to, and we got acknowledged by someone doing some.
I love you guys. It's lexicon, man. I love you guys, boy. But that's why I tell y'all, man. That's why you got to choose the right people to be around, man, because some stuff can happen and cats could be like, all right, let's get the blick.
Yeah.
And be right behind you, right? And then you got other cats like, hey, man, let's get this money, man. It's going to be all right. And, and that is the difference.
Yeah.
That could be the difference, people, between a prison box and a mansion. Man.
You got to decide to do what's best for you. Not what somebody else think you should do. And I got to come off to some regular vision for that because not what someone else thinks you should do.
Hold on, let me give you a close-up on that because I don't think they're paying attention. Let me hear that again, Self.
Not what someone else wants you to do.
Facts, flesh.
What spirit moves you to do. Now let me get this. Oh, damn. Wait a minute. Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah.
Self-love vision is like, woo!
No,
sometimes I got to break it down and let y'all know that, this is real. Thoughts are things. And what you think and then you say, you bring into this matrix. So
they could have asked me though, bro.
Be careful.
They could have been like, self-love. They could have gave us an offer we couldn't refuse and said, listen, delete the videos or blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
No, they wasn't giving us that option out there. And it's a good thing because it's solidified and making sure that we about to move forward in the even more prominent fashion and speak truth to the power.
Oh my goodness. Yes. To quote the great Michael Jordan, yes, we're using this as killing in the furnace. Yeah.
Man. Building that burning desire.
Man.
To take this much, much higher. So thank you. Thank you.
Man.
For your inspiration.
Lexicon is changing. The little engine that could, it's about 4 or 5 pink people in there. Yeah. shoveling in the coal, keeping the little engine running, hot, sweating. You know what I mean? Look, they steady hacking right now, trying to get me to shut the meeting down. Like, why did this box pop up? This is like the 4th time it's popped up. Let me get a new computer.
Yeah.
But
Not sure that's going to help.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Might get them more access. Shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hey, bro. But yeah, we gotta just go over to remind everybody about the tiers, because right now, before you start, let me just say where we are. We reached a milestone. Self Love and I, like, panel was so big, and so we reached another milestone. So big ups to everybody in the Self Love Nation. We went over the 200 subscribers. I think I checked it today. It's 209 subscribers.
Big ups. Big ups. Thank you so much for your support. We love you.
Man. So that means if you subtract 209 from 300, we are 91 subscribers away. It's 91, not bots. 91 subscribers. And when we get up to, well, actually 90, because we're going to do it at 299. And because the magic number, according to YouTube, is 300. It's like a little Goldilocks zone. Once the algorithm sees that you've been in the game and you get to 300 for whatever nonsensical reason, they're suggesting that the recommendations and everything's going to go out differently. And then we can start, this growth can start being a little more geometrical,
exponential.
That's the word I've been looking for weeks. But go ahead, Self. And then what's going to happen when we eclipse 299 subs?
I will be regressed live on TATN. This is going to be epic on the Self Love Show. Your co-host, Tori Wordsmith, Self Love, is going to be regressed by the brain bully.
The brain bully.
Emerge McVeigh. And it's going to be, it's going to be very informative for me. That's for sure. Because, I've got some notes that I've taken, and I'm going to, get the brain bully to delve into. And y'all going to see something.
All right. So this brother says he's going to get digressed.
It's not digressed. Although I digress a lot,
well,
you know what I mean, but regressed so I can go back to the moment.
By the brain bully.
Yes.
Who sat on this show, who was signed by Jimmy Iovine, told great stories about it. I'd like to tell you guys we got footage about it. And, well, we're working
We'll get it back. They better send it back.
We may still have his though, actually, because he was early in the game. Because we still got JB. Yeah. So some we still got. Oh, I think we lost Salik.
Man, no.
But anyway,
we're recovered. They're gonna send it back. All right, that's the way I'm looking at it. Right. Until they say it different.
Yeah.
Until it's said different, I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, right. I'll take that. I received that, Noop. I received that. So that being said, it's already done. They have repaired it. And what am I worried about?
Right.
Fear is an illusion. We vibrate in love. Big ups. Thank you, YouTube. And thank you, Yeshua, for fixing the hack.
Did you cut the music down? Because it went down some while you were talking.
No.
I hope you're not going out, man.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Am I going out?
No, you coming back. All right.
All right. Well, so he's getting regressed. By the brain bully. Yes. And that's going to be at 299 subscribers. Now, once we, eclipse that tier, God willing, then our next tier that Self and I have are going to embark upon, that's going to be the tier of 499 new subscribers. So once Self gets regressed, we approach 500 subscribers, and the algorithm in the Self Love Nation blesses us with 500 subscribers, technically 499, and that's going to get us to the next tier. What happens at this tier?
Somebody jumping out of plane. Someone, and then they, counterpart, their other half.
Yeah, that's right. So once we start approaching that number, we're going to sign up. I think you just go in LA. I thought it's off. The way it used to be when I was researching it, they milked it. You go a few times and you had to go and get comfortable and whatever. It's a one-day thing. I guess you go watch a video and you strap on, and because everybody's doing everything else. So
get out there.
Yeah, it's jump. It's mass producing it. So
go.
Yeah, that's it. So that's right. So we're gonna get out there and eclipse fear and jump out of a moving airplane. We do plan to tandem jump with a professional, and that professional shall have a parachute. All right. I'll get it live. We're going to cast live. That means I won't be able to edit. If I piss my pants, crap my pants, and then, my wife's like, you smell like poo-poo. It'll be right here on the Self Love Nation.
We'll just do it live. We're going to take it here and do it live.
Yeah.
Do it live.
Yeah. We're going to do it live. So anything that happens, you guys will see it right here live on the Self Love Nation.
Someone who owns their home has been living there.
It's a bad idea. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be in there. It's our little background music. And then, Self, when we get up to that's funny that you were talking about gentrification in that little cut, and that's what we're doing a show on. And that was, remember, that was the line that made us say, we're going to do a gentrification show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting her have it.
Was that, What? Now, 999 subscribers. Is that the next tier, or was it going to, yeah. Is it 999?
Yeah, 499.
Yeah, and then, yeah. So once that happens, then I'm going to get some receipts. I've been a staunch opponent of getting your DNA. We got some announcements too about RNA. But I'm gonna get the DNA profile done. Gonna get the receipts. Gonna get the receipts and release those receipts to the Self Love Nation. Let's see what those receipts tie me to.
Well,
Go ahead, bro.
Receipts have for entertainment purposes, they give a disclaimer.
Well, so is the Self Love Show.
Oh yeah,
the Self Love Show. I'm glad you mentioned it. We're edutainment.
Edutainment.
That's right. It's a movement. If you take something from it, it's because you're paying attention. Yeah. So that's it. At $9.99. Oh yeah. So what we got at 9,999.
That's when we change the world. We got something that's a demonstration of the power of the Creator.
Facts.
And we'll just kind of, I don't know, can't go way past that. It's secretive, but it's very positive and it's going to be a blessing to the universe. I can't wait.
facts. Yeah, and each and every wrench, each and every silverback that sits with us shall, on order from on high, whether you got faith of a mustard seed or not, whether you're conscious or not, you will facilitate this spark. We all shall do it together. History will be written. It will be written by us, the Self Luv Nation. That's all I can say right now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and run that last video, and then we can pretty much wrap it up and tell them who we got for next Wednesday.
All right. Nope.
Yeah, I see you got a box on your screen too. Let me see. Was that my screen?
I made a...
Yeah, you had that box too. And if you try to close it, if I try to close it, it tries to log me off. Let me minimize it. All right.
All right. The next one is... Oh, we already played that one.
It's gonna be the last one, bro.
Right.
I mean,
I got to it.
Above the music.
Yeah. I got it.
I'm Soledad O'Brien. Welcome to Matter of Fact. It is one of the most problematic urban housing issues, and it's sweeping the country. Areas once deemed too poor to be worth the investment are rebuilding and gentrifying. With that redevelopment, affordable housing becomes unaffordable for the people who are already living there. And poor to working class families get pushed out to make room for newcomers with larger salaries, which drives up the cost of living.
Yeah.
The city of Louisville is hoping to improve one of its most historic districts, but without displacing the people who already live there. It is an audacious experiment, but can it work? Over the next 2 years, we'll track the progress to see how that mission is unfolding. Here's my first look at the Russell neighborhood in West Louisville, Kentucky.
They could keep the taxes for the people that already grandfathered them there at a certain level so they could stay.
It wasn't as dilapidated. Still have a lot of old homes were still here.
Haven Harrington's family goes back more than 3 generations in West Louisville.
Grandfather the
he lives and works as a radio talk show host in Russell.
Right, you can raise it, but yeah, keep raising it at the rate of
9th Street
like it was.
During the urban renewal, they made this boulevard here that separated West Louisville from downtown Louisville.
The divide was the result of a 1960s urban renewal project that split the community by race. It also leveled entire city blocks, including the thriving African-American business district on Walnut Street. Haven's beloved Russell neighborhood, known as the Harlem of Louisville, was decimated. For decades to come, the banks also engaged in redlining, literally drawing red lines around communities they considered too high risk to offer loans or insurance. Communities that were mostly African American. Louisville's former mayor, Charles Farnsley, laughed when he described the motive behind the so-called renewal project.
Our drug dealers supposed to be giving these loans and making this money.
That way downtown wouldn't become the Black Belt. It was a childish idea because the streets are still open, and it was a cruel thing. And urban renewal was called Negro removal by the Negroes, and that's what it was. It almost always tore down the homes of black people or poor people.
Today, a new renewal effort is underway, this time one that aims to include African Americans in the recovery. The project, called Russell, A Place of Promise, leverages $867 million to revive that neighborhood, just west of Louisville's bustling downtown. Sadiqa Reynolds, president of the Urban League, has raised about half of the $35 million to build an indoor track and field facility. Why did you pick this spot?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel more like this spot picked me. This community deserves this. We deserve to have it.
Okay.
Yeah, now so this is more of the solutions, and I want to watch the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, who tells them, though, that rebuilding our community comes down to building a track and a field and a gymnasium? Why? Why does that always happen? You know, a stadium. I mean, I guess it's a sign of hope. But we need businesses, Self. We need loans for businesses so people can get jobs and work, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I can see what they are saying, but I don't agree.
Yes,
I can see that they're like,
come on, man,
a place to have people together, and
yes,
you know what I mean. But
yes,
you know, we don't. You raise half of 35 million, and that's what you're gonna, you know.
Well, I'm sure there's
I'm
sure there's more. This is just the start. I'm sure they're spending more. I'm just harping on, and I'm like, they're doing something. So, you know, bravo.
To be able to bring people together in a sense,
yes,
you know what I mean, and
yes,
train people, and
bravo. I mean, but I'm just throwing out, you know, silverback ideas that, you know, yeah, we need businesses like everybody else, and less of these. This is yours, and so kids can go spray paint on it and pee on it, and you know what I'm saying. So
ownership over slave ship. Realizing that some of us have to be on the slave ship till we can get to an ownership perspective. So there's no judgment of that, but ownership over slave ship.
Absolutely. Go ahead, hit play, Self.
An opportunity to live in the place where we have really suffered and sacrificed, to watch it grow and watch it become something better.
Still, there is mounting anxiety over whether improvement will lead to gentrification, which displaces the people who already live there.
You know, it's about who gets empowered, who benefits from the investment. Do those investments come into the hands of those folks who really have a connection?
That's what I'm saying.
Neighborhood.
Who's benefiting from that big gym that built? Who built
leads the Louisville Central Community Centers?
Exactly.
Man, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't get with a group of people like him and Tory and business people in that community and say, look, you guys, and we're giving you loans and you own it. And if they're not doing that, it's not going to rebuild our community. It's not.
It's the way it looks most of the time. It's not set up for our community. It's set up to move us out. So I offered, like, if they could, you know, grandfather some people in, you know, because we've seen some things like I was talking about on that clip from the other show. People who had been living there 40, 50 years.
Stop the share right quick.
Had to move because of the taxes, because of the gentrification, because all this other, you know, stuff.
Oh yeah, I said that too, man. Yeah, I said you can grandfather the taxes.
Yeah. I mean, that's just facts.
Yeah, it's common sense.
You might have said it first, but I'm just saying it now. You know,
but I'm saying if you can think of it and I can think of it, you know, they've thought of it.
Yeah, they don't. That's the whole thing. They want it to change over, and they don't care.
Right. And if enough of us aren't saying what you're just saying and repeating it over and over, that is the solution, that they could grandfather that. That's all they have to do. And we're not saying, you know, fix every, you know, taxes have to go up.
Yeah, we're talking about people that own their homes that are on fixed incomes.
Man, retired.
Yes. And no more, they're not going to make any more. I think they should lock it where it's at.
Oh, yeah. For them, yes.
Yes.
For them,
yes.
Yes, for them, I agree. Now, what about once, you know, because the house could be in a trust, but I agree. That property, period. Well, yeah, for that first family, yeah, it gets weird. But yeah, see, locking it gets real weird.
unless it changes hands. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I hear you. It should be locked. It should be fixed. Yeah, they can do it. Yeah.
Until it changes hands. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Why?
I agree.
You know.
And even when it changes, though, it shouldn't balloon 500%. It should balloon at the rate that it was at the that person bought it, as long as it changed to your family, as long as it's an inheritance. In other words, if you leave that house to your children, they shouldn't have to pay 10 times the tax,
Right, and
because they're going to have to sell it.
That's why I was like, changing hands is not inheritance, is not changing hands like I'm talking about. I'm talking about, sale or.
So you're saying in the case of an inheritance, keep it fixed.
Yeah.
That can get weird because that inheritance can go on forever. But I hear you, though. That would be true ownership.
That is
ownership.
So many will sell. Like, many, like, children get and
jobs. They want to move their life. The husband don't.
They don't even want to live there.
Right. Or the wife don't want to live there. Right.
That's how the whole thing goes, and then bam, it gets sold out. Like we was talking earlier, you told dude, like, when your children get this, they're gonna sell it. He like, I know. You know what I mean? The dude on the hill.
Yeah. So yeah, he knows it.
Yeah. So when it changed hands, that's how I'm talking about changing hands. They get it, but they sell it. You know what I mean? And it changed from the lineage. It changes from that.
Right. But like, let's say if that is, let's just say if a place got fixed at $200 a year 50 years ago, and this family's been passing it down, and that area is booming, and so now some family don't want to live there, and so I would say, I'm not selling this. I mean, it would be dumb to sell this. So I'm just going to rent it out, and rent it out at the extortionist rent of this area is getting. But I hear you, though. Maybe the family should have that advantage because they were there to build. I mean, they were there to build that community. I mean, it's a big business advantage, but that's what ownership is, right, Self? I mean, yeah. I mean, at some point, it shouldn't be any property tax.
Man.
They got me so screwed in the head, I'm justifying property tax.
Yeah, because, that's just a
it should stop after you pay your mortgage.
It's a way to take your property.
Yes.
Period. You done paid for your property, and it's free and clear. But, oh, no, well, taxes, no, we can take you don't pay this, we can take, we'll take it.
Wow.
Now we can, we'll take it, we'll sell it.
Or you got to move. They just bully you. Yeah.
No, you'll be gone. Like,
Yeah.
You don't pay your taxes. It's a 2-year process to someone owning your property. That's all they got to do is pay.
When it should have been owned by your estate, right? You're saying it should be owned. If you leave that for your kids, it should be in your family forever and ever and ever until someone at any point in the family decides to sell it out.
Yes, if you own it, then
right.
I mean,
you're right. That's what ownership is.
Right.
That's what it used to be in America. This is my homestead.
But this
you're
taxes,
you're right.
interfere to all of that,
and that's what it's done.
I'm not in agreement with that.
I hear you, bro. Yeah. I hear that.
And it mainly happens to us. I mean, that's why it's set up the way it is. So
because we're getting, first of all, they redlined everything, so we're behind the 8 ball with ownership. They pay us less. We're behind the 8 ball with earnership.
And not only do they redline, they give us the highest rate. They give people loans that are rated for a lower percentage.
At a higher risk for a lower percentage.
Yes.
They give higher risk non-black people loans at lower rates.
No. Lower risk people. That people that make all the money, and if they were pink, they would get a much better rate. And they, that they give us the highest. We pay the highest,
right?
Percentage.
So again, you're saying that people with higher risk, who are not black, are getting loans at lower rates than people who are lower risk, who are black. We get loans at higher rates.
Yes.
Right. Right. It's the same thing, just another way, just
Opposite.
in reverse. Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So that, I mean, and Self, I know you know about math. Anybody who knows the power of numbers and the principle of whatever that is, and when you do math on a long scale, somebody was talking about a plot, a graph, and he was saying, that was Dr. Conrad, but I'm using his analogy differently. When you look long game over 200, 300, 400,000, just people say, well, it's only a percentage. Man, a percentage of income over time.
Yeah. Especially, the way they multiply loans, how it goes.
Man, say Eureka told me so. It was standard. They would get 5 to 10% in a bank account saving, in a bank savings account. 5 to 10%.
Wow.
See how I said the same thing. Now think about this though. How motivated would you be, any average human being, to keep that money? Because you've always been good with keeping your money in the bank.
Yeah.
How much more? Did you see your face? How much more motivated would you have been to be working?
It's less than 1%. It's like,
yes.
Oh my God. 10%? Oh my God.
Yeah. How much more motivated would you have been? No, I can't spend this. No, I can't loan you this.
You already know. I mean, I would have to loan at 20%. That was the only way I would be able to justify it.
Or at least at the 10%. Right. Or at least at the 10%. Yeah.
I'll keep the 10% because,
that's it's guaranteed with the bank.
Right,
I see what you're
saying.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
they loan it out. They go.
You're assuming the risk.
They gotta pay. They gotta pay more for that risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's big risk because if you never get it back, you not only have you lost that money, but you lost the interest that you were getting off of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you lost it all. So yeah, I'd keep it at the 10%, in the bank before, they got to pay at least
5 to 10%. That's why people were running to the bank and putting their money. And they said that Americans were real disciplined. That's why everybody was disciplined, of course. But like you said, Self, we're 0.00, man, please. It doesn't even match inflation. It doesn't.
And these people now are not doing what the banks did then. You put $1 in a bank, they loaning 19 off your dollar.
19, and at the end of that same year, they can print 1,000 more of those dollars, and then so that dollar that you had that they loaned 19 off of is worth less because they can just print money.
Inflation. Yeah.
Yes. So if you can have $1 trillion in the bank and they can print $200 billion trillion tomorrow, and you're no longer rich.
Be like the yen, you know what I mean?
Some of those African,
1,000.
Money be all over. The money be all over the ground.
6,000 of them make $1.
Yeah, and you go to the all over the ground.
100 pennies make $1. 6,000 make $1. What the?
It's like, come on, guys. Why are you printing all this? You gotta do better. You gotta change the scale at this point, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta change the scale, man. It's a farce. Yeah. Anything in there?
Yeah. I'm the overseers all over it. Much respect. One love for the gangsters. The gym will still be there when they push the people out.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Shy, Section 8, they got it. For life back in the late 90s. Section 8. That's not ownership, though.
What, Section 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot. It's a lot of contingencies on that, ain't it? Boy, you basically a slave.
Yeah, there's no ownership in that.
I mean, you live you man, please. You can't do this, you can't do that. But go ahead, Self. What else? The gym will be there.
He said when they put out the projects, okay, I guess that was part of it. He said in Section 8, they got it for life back in the late 90s when they put out the projects. Okay, so they moved out of projects or whatever.
But he says for life. So when they tore down the project, they literally said, "Here's your Section 8." Like this, I guess he's like the Section 8. You don't have to renew that like every. It's for life, huh, bro?
Well, no, it ain't for life. Because if you like got somebody that's selling drugs or something that live in your house and all that, and you don't put them out or whatever, it's all that.
Or if you win lotto, you don't have it. Like if you come up on a job, you don't have it.
Yeah, those,
it has to be a certain income
those
level.
people for life people are, they're not that's their job. Section 8 is their job. Those for life people that we're talking about, you know what I mean? Real talk.
Man,
they're not going to do any job that's going to mess up.
Man, I knew
Section 8.
He got his girl, baby mama had got the voucher. And I think it was up to this was in the Chicago area, like $1,300, bro. You can rent up to $1,300, and you know what that can get you. And this was like 10 years ago. And I think all he had to pay would have been like $175 a month. And it was literally, him and his girl was literally looking for apartments. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I might have been paying like a stack, living in Hyde Park.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
$1,400, bro.
Right.
So yeah, you're almost demotivated to get over that income level, right? Almost who's the fool? I mean, we like to judge, but you're almost demotivated. I'm saying if you start your own business and you built something for ownership, that's different. But why would you almost get a certain type of job to get over a certain level and give that up?
Well, I'll just, say what a lot of people have that, a lot of the politics have led to the mental slave ships that we are on, and we will ride it.
Self at this point, just like we have generations of gang members, their dad was a gangman, granddad.
No,
you have generations of gold diggers. You have generation of yes.
They're definitely
a science
passed down an apartment.
It's a science. I wonder if somebody could wrote a book about that.
I don't know. Probably though. Ain't nothing new under the sun. It might not be in a book form. It might be a papyrus.
hey, you see how these? Yeah, that's true. It might be. That's true. What else you got in the chat, bro?
I'm the overseer said 1% property tax in Vegas. Beta house in Vegas. Interesting concept.
Love it. Great concept.
Yes. Scam to get them out on Section 8. Who's paying for it?
Right. And see, that's the question. Who is paying for it? But we like to paint that picture of us being on Section 8 because we live in our community. Listen, people.
But we really know that it's not us. Like the far
yes.
use of all of the services of this nation are pink people. And you know what? They were created for them. It was
and let me say
created for us. It was never created for us. It was.
And let me say something. And there are other people who are benefiting. We are at the bottom of people who are getting any benefits at any given time. Don't let them fool you.
Oh no.
Cause they will screw you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So don't let them fool you. And he's right.
They got no love.
Man.
No love.
And they put it all over TV and they had the comedians coming out talking about black people on Section 8 and we and then, right? And then nighttime shows and the black people on the Section 8 and we don't get it. You know what I'm trying to say? So we don't be getting it. We be on the list forever.
It ain't funny no more.
Hey, we need some Section 9, man. We're working on that. Section 9 coming to a town near you. But man. So Wednesday, we're bringing in a boss, and This boss is from Chicago.
Yeah. What's the date next Wednesday?
We're today's the 23rd, right? So we're at the 30th. So yeah, we're talking. I'm gonna do a promo video on it. Yeah, that'll go up tomorrow. Yeah, we're talking Stony.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
I can't. I'm looking forward to this.
Those who know.
Yes.
Yeah, but this guy's a boss.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and if you don't know, you might want to tell your mammies, right? So, if your mammies don't, you just tell your mammies if you don't know. Yeah. I mean, this guy's a boss. I'll just leave it like that. Great family man.
Man.
Yeah.
Amazing brother.
Absolutely. Businessman.
At the highest levels, really. Like
facts.
He deals with the higher ups.
Facts. And is it ironic that we're having this problem with these spooks? Speaking of somebody who could probably outspook the spooks, right?
Handle that to be like, this did it there, where it's all back here, put it back in there.
Well, actually, he could do it, but he wouldn't. He could have a guy do it. That's what I'm
just
saying.
Tell him, go ahead.
Yeah, because he's a boss. But yes, he came up in that industry of how would you say that? Computer protections, what do they call it? So, securities and stuff.
Yeah, he's a CIO. Like he deals with the security.
Yes,
he is man.
And he got in at the cutting edge of it, and so he's one of the leading edge thinkers in mainframe security and all of that kind of stuff. So maybe he's just the type of guy to give us an idea of just what the heck's going on, or at least tell me what kind of program I can get to make sure that this never happens again.
Yeah, and it's not like you haven't paid for security because we you made sure that happened because some things were happening. Like, okay, let's make sure this happens, and still didn't stop it. But most of the criminal element is in front of the issues or problems with any software or any laws, any flaws in a law. Someone will figure out how to manipulate it.
Any lock that was ever made.
Yes.
The person who makes the lock
knows how to pick it.
Correct. If you're going to build a secret chamber in your house, and guess what? Everybody who designed it with you and built it with you, unless you're going to whack them on their way out, even then you can't do it. Unless you brought them over there and had a meeting and said, "Now you can't leave until this project's finished," right? And then you whack them before they leave. After they're finished, that's the only way. Even then, their families know where they went. The police are hovering around.
It's funny that you speak about that because like they found like people that were in locked in the places, the monuments or whatever that built it, that did all the work in there and all that. They locked,
you mean like
so they can't tell anybody where it's at.
Yes. You mean like they said, I saw that on National Geo or something.
Yeah.
You mean like what's that mountain with the dead presidents?
Oh, Rushmore.
Yes, it's supposed to be in there. Yeah, somebody's in there. Are you serious, bro?
Yeah, I'm talking about ancient societies, like they have a tomb and all this. The people that actually built the tomb,
they couldn't build their way out. They sealed.
No, they sealed them in there because they wouldn't be able to tell where it were because they knew that people everybody would come.
Knew the secrets.
So the people that built it and all of that,
they said the same thing's supposed to be going on with some of our, that the Masons use some of the same things because there's some secrets in some of our artifacts. Some of those things. It's supposed to be some secrets in there. You know what I mean? Well, secret caverns and stuff. So yeah, there's a person who built it who probably didn't make it out. So if somebody's ever got you building something secret, nah. Nah. Or you might want to send one of the guys over, right? So
I'm just saying, I it's well documented what I've been through in this lifetime, and nothing else is happening. I'm about to shine. I'm gonna vibrate love so hard that I'm gonna be seen from galaxies away.
Man, your light's gonna be just from galaxies away, huh? So
yes.
I received that, good brother. I received that. So yeah. So y'all know what we on. Tuesday, we haven't selected. Self Love and I, we're gonna do some chatter on it, we'll do some chatter on it. We might just get this thing down to when we have a guest, and we'll still always do it weekly, but we're talking. We'll see. We're gonna keep going to where we're going for a little bit longer, but we'll see. If people aren't watching the lives, well, they do watch them after they go up, but if they aren't watching the lives, you know what I mean? We were using them more as practice, and I think Self Love and I, we pretty much got the show in order.
Well, I like doing it like we're doing it, and we're gonna do it for the people that's here for now, and keep it up, and then figure out if it's making any sense. Like Nine said,
I'm with it. Well, hey, yeah. I mean, I received that. We'll keep our nose to the grindstone.
It's really what you said. So I mean,
yeah,
we're looking at it.
Yeah, we're definitely beta testing it, and we're definitely looking at it. Now, remember, there's a new technique I learned too, so we got to look at that too.
Yes,
a chance for the algorithm to work, and we were just kind of taking it back today after what had happened. So, yeah,
exactly.
Oh man,
and the longer it goes on, the more I,
realize how minute it is, because there's people out here dying from COVID and hungry right now, and no food in the refrigerator, and so
the affirmation is so much more positive. I mean, if we never get those videos back, the motivation to move would be even greater. So they better go ahead and give us these videos back, so
my grandmother used to say that.
They're gonna hear it, boy. They're gonna feel it.
Bishop Ford, Dr. Anna Ford used to say that, man. She used to say, whenever I was japping with her about somebody not liking me or something, she'd tell me. She never got caught up in that. She'd just be like, always tell me, if everybody likes you, you're not doing something right.
Right. Right.
I mean, just think about that. Think about Christ, right? Gandhi, Dr. King, Malcolm X. We can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. If everybody likes you, you ain't doing something right.
Period. Cultural, factual information.
Yeah. You will have haters. So, and the more you shine, the more haters you got. I mean, look at all these haters Michael Jordan's got.
Man.
LeBron James, he's got some haters.
Period. Kobe Bryant had a lot of haters.
Kobe Bean.
People that are great.
Larry Bird had a lot of haters.
Yeah, and what's mostly stands out about that? They never cared about him.
And
if they doing what they were doing.
Yes, and the ones who did care just used it to keep doing what. Yes, they just used it to fuel them. Yes, but they either didn't care, and the ones who did care only used it to fuel their. Yeah. I concur with that, bro. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start wrapping it up here. Hey, we strung. Oh well, let me check out the chat here. How many overseers say he's gonna get us some subscribers? Hey, look, man, we don't want you to go plug in 18. this is not what we're about, Self Love Nation. We know that can be done. Self Love and I have talked about it. We only want your main account on here, right? Please.
No, he's meaning the right way though.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But this is not just for him. We only want your main account, people.
Yeah.
We appreciate motivation that we all want to reach these heights, as a unit, as a nation. But one thing I would say is, man, let's do it the right way.
Yeah, we got to do it the right way. That's how we do it. We need to hear from the jeweler too, at some point, man, because
Well, the jeweler actually, never got a chance to tell you. The jeweler has dropped. Oh, I didn't even tell the jeweler. The jeweler dropped a magnificent jewel, right? But this was the Tuesday show. We were putting together that panel.
Okay.
Right. So I didn't have a chance to, appreciate it. Right.
And then
yes.
Today.
Yes.
I look forward, baby. We're going to hear from the jeweler. All right.
You would have had the jeweler all day today. You would have had something that the jeweler dropped a gem.
No doubt.
RNA Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, all right.
RNA Jimi Hendrix. So you guys are going to start seeing that RNA tag. If you're in it, you know what it means. If you don't, it's ribonucleic acid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, big up. Self, you got anything as we start closing the door on tonight's show?
It's a very mixed bag on gentrification. I don't believe outside forces should come into any neighborhood and move out the foundational people of it for profit. I think that these are communities who, I'm looking forward, speaking truth in the future. Our communities are owned and operated by us, for us, like it used to be. And we know who the professionals are, we know the businesses, and we all support and rotate that money. It's very important. And I don't want to go too far, but
What do you think about, because the more I look at it, property tax itself seems snooty, like racist. I mean, even if you take it outside of just gentrification, it seems like a system of control. It's like a form of redlining that people don't pay attention to.
It's a way to take your property. I mean,
no, we know that fact. No, I'm talking about it's a way to keep certain people from being in certain areas and from buying certain properties because of the property tax. There are times you can look, there are condominiums in Hyde Park in certain areas that, when I'm saying so, there's good areas where you might be able to afford, but you can't afford the property tax.
Yeah.
So that seems to me like a form of redlining. So why I'm saying the property tax should be just based on square footage. It should have nothing to do with the zone of the city that you live in. It should somehow be flat and fair.
Absolutely.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Beverly Hills, bro, they got property tax that'd be like $300,000-$400,000 a year, if higher. I mean, I have to do the research, and that's what I'm saying. You can keep Nouveau Riche out. You can keep everybody out.
No, with that type of rate, shit.
Yeah.
You can keep a lot of people that we know that are famous out of there. That type of rate.
They're just not going to pay it. Right.
A lot of them can't,
Right. They
famous, but they famous ain't and they pocketbook is not adding up to famous.
The ones that's managing them and their lawyers, they're the ones living over there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The ones owning those companies, ownership people. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to start getting played off here. CEOs moving around in the background. And let me tell you something. I'm pretty hungry myself. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get this wrapped up here. Came with some, this is Ninth Wonder, Aquatic. It's called The Aquatic Journey. And big ups to Ninth Wonder for this piece of intellectual property. He's got a YouTube channel. Y'all sign up for. And y'all stay encouraged out here. Be encouraged. Bullets are boomerangs.
Stand your ground.
Murder, that's suicide.
An eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
Slave theory. Greed plus ego divided by fear equates to slavery.
The freedom principle. Charity plus humility times love is freedom.
Don't answer questions.
Question everything.
Fear is a simple, ignorant vibration.
Vibrate love.
Forgiveness is the highest, purest vibration, next to charity.
So, do something charitable for your enemy.
I was told that people who hurt people who grow to hurt people.
Man, healthy people heal people.
Free Larry Hoover.
Free Prince Malik, aka Jeff Ford.
Free the guys.
Prison is slavery.
Walk on water.
Move mountains.
Chi-Town. Stand up.